I don't think a pair of Yeezys have surprised me more than these. So earlier this year, it was announced that Adidas and Kanye West finally struck a deal to sell the remaining Yeezy stock, which Adidas had already manufactured, and this definitely excited Yeezy fans who previously missed out on some iconic releases or who just wanted new colorways of their favorite shoes. What we weren't expecting though is brand new models, and we've actually gotten two of them already. The first was the Yeezy 450 slides, and now we got these, the Yeezy 500 tactical boot. I've been waiting for a while to review these, so let's go. So the Yeezy 500 tactical boot. Now these officially released on August the 12th on the Confirmed app as well as a few other retailers for a pretty big price tag of $300 US or 300 euros, which is definitely a lot because it is $80 more than the regular Yeezy 500s and also a lot more expensive than what most tactical boots go for, which is what this shoe is supposed to be. However, it's not entirely crazy to see a Yeezy priced at 300 because that was the original price of what the 700s used to go for. And right now we're in the middle of a whole new Yeezy season. We've got tons of releases in the month of August. But to be honest though, when I saw pictures of all of the potential sneakers releasing this month, there was one that my eyes immediately focused on, and that was this pair, the 500 high tactical boot. I've always been a big fan of the 500s, and this high boot form version, I was very excited to check it out. We first saw pics of this model in a totally different colorway. It was more of a sand color, which I would say is more typical of Yeezy brand. But I gotta say, I do prefer these black ones though, because these look tough. And let's get into it, starting off with the box. So I was expecting maybe a slightly different box, but you're pretty much getting a standard Yeezy 500 box here. It just says 500 on the top and there's no other wording on the sides. And the label on the box says Yeezy 500 High, which is a bit weird because we already had Yeezy 500 Highs released before, and this is actually a totally different shoe. And getting into the shoes, well, I have to say they're not kidding around when they call these high tops, because these definitely go very high up. The previous Yeezy 500 Highs, they would end pretty much at my ankle level, but when I have these on my feet, these go way above my ankle, almost at my calf level. And this sneaker, or sneaker boot, if you didn't already know, is a combination of two different shoes. The upper half of this seems to be coming from the Yeezy Season 4 combat boots, which were one of the boots that Kanye, I would say, wore the most. We've seen tons of pictures of him rocking that boot. And the bottom half, the midsole and the outsole, you know exactly where this is from. This is from the Yeezy 500. And it's this combination which truly makes the shoe a sneaker boot. And looking at the upper of the shoe, it is pretty drastically different than your normal Yeezy 500. So we do have quite a lot of suede used here. And I have to say, it's kind of a rough suede, because previously we were used to getting this really soft, really hairy suede on the 500 lows at least. But instead this time it's much more of a rougher suede on the toe box as well as the back panel. And then in the middle of the shoe, extending all the way to the top, you have this ballistic nylon. You additionally have some nubuck panels as well on both sides. And considering how big this sneaker boot is, it's really surprising just how lightweight it is, especially when compared with the Yeezy 500 High like I mentioned earlier. You also have this additional bit of padding on the top of the shoe, which I have to say really feels good on feet. You're getting some pretty crazy laces on this sneaker. They are extremely long, so long in fact that to tie it all the way up, you actually have to tie them around your feet. And these laces also have another functional purpose. You could actually start a fire with them. I don't know if you can really see this on camera, but you might notice at the very tip of the laces that there are these little red wires, which are actually really flammable. You can pull them out and actually start fire. I've seen a video showing that this can actually happen. So it does work. I just don't know when anyone would ever be in a situation where they'll need to use it. It is a bit gimmicky, of course, but hey, at least it does have some kind of purpose. Moving down to the midsole and the outsole. Now, while the upper of the sneaker looks nothing like a Yeezy 500, you have that very, very recognizable midsole here, made up of that Adiprene technology, which I can swear by is definitely one of the most comfortable feelings on feet. And it's one of the main reasons why I used to just love the Yeezy 500. Not just because of how comfortable they feel on feet, I also just really like the look of them, and I think in a boot form, it looks just as good. Now, let me talk about what surprised me the most about this shoe, and that is just the way they feel on feet. For all the reasons I mentioned earlier, which is how lightweight the shoe is, the padding around the ankle collar, and also that Adiprene technology just really makes this one of the most comfortable pairs of Yeezys I think I've ever worn. The The nylon upper especially just makes all the difference. It makes the sneaker very flexible and very easy to move around in. And also this padding you have at the top here, it prevents the sneaker boot from scratching up against the back of your feet. And the Adiprene cushioning is just one of my favorite. You can walk around in them all day. It's very responsive. Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating, guys. When it comes to comfort, it is ridiculous how comfy these are. And for sizing, so I did kind of make a mistake here and get them in my true size, which I have to say is not the perfect fit. I definitely feel my toes getting squeezed in at the top. The reason I did get them in my true size is because previously with the Yeezy 500, I was kind of in between sizes. So when I went a half size up, I did feel a bit of heel slippage. So I chose to just go with my true size there. With this high top version, you don't have to worry about heel slippage. So I definitely suggest you guys to go a half size up. So for me, that would be the same size you would wear in a Yeezy 350 or a Yeezy 700. I do not recommend going true to size. My toes are definitely getting crushed. So I'm going to have to try to get a half size up somehow. It will be difficult because the bigger sizes are pretty much sold out everywhere. If you look at what these are going for right now on the resale market, they're not going for too much above retail, but you can see that the bigger sizes are definitely reselling. So I'm hoping I can somehow get a half size up for retail, but anyways, guys, just don't make the same mistake as me. Definitely go a half up. The one thing with this shoe that I think people might be on the fence on, besides the obvious very high retail price, would probably be how to style these, which I have to admit is definitely a bit out of my comfort zone. I know I definitely wouldn't want to wear these with shorts because they are a bit too high for that. So I think there's really two ways to wear these. You can choose to have that stacked pants feature where you can tuck your pants kind of into the boot and have them stack on top, which I think is probably my preferred look here. And here I'm just wearing some basic sweatpants to try to achieve that look. The other option, of course, is you can wear your pants over the shoes, but then I think they kind of look like a regular pair of 500s. Let me know in the comments which one of these is your preferred look, and definitely check out my Instagram where I post a lot of fit pics of most of the sneakers I buy, and tag me on Instagram if you guys are planning on rocking these. I would love to see your fits. Overall, the Yeezy 500 high tactical boot, are these a cop or a drop? Now I definitely do think that the shoe is a bit overpriced. 300 for a pair of sneakers for me is just a bit much, and also I think the quality of the suede used here is not as good as I've seen on previous 500s. I still will say that I just love the way these shoes look and especially feel on feet. They're just incredibly comfortable, and as you know, we're getting into the end of summer. It's eventually going to be cold again. You're probably going to be wanting to wear a nice boot throughout the winter months, then these would be a good option. I know that they're called tactical boots, which are mainly boots that are used by the military, and I don't know if these would necessarily be the best for combat. It's definitely much more just for the looks. It's more of a lifestyle sneaker, but I really like these guys. They look great, they feel amazing. For me, these are a cop. But let me know down in the comments though, what do you guys think about the Yeezy 500 tactical boot? Did you guys manage to cop one? Are you thinking about it? And also make sure you follow me on Instagram and check out the bi-weekly sneaker podcast as well, available on Spotify and Apple Music. The links to all of that can be found in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one.